If you run a small business, you're already juggling a million things: employees, customers, cash flow. Cybersecurity can feel like one more box to check off. I get it, really. But here's the thing: many beliefs owners rely on for peace of mind are actually leaving them exposed. There are 5 myths that lull small companies into a dangerous comfort zone. In this video, I'll walk through each one, and you'll see why they hit small businesses harder than anyone else. I'm Kevin, CEO of Sentry Systems. For 25 plus years, we've helped small businesses like yours reduce cyber risk. Let me ask you something. Do you assume the size and name of your vendor equals safety? Let's start with the first myth. Reputation equals protection. Plain and simple. Here's the reality. Even global giants aren't immune. When Kaseya, a well-known IT management company, was breached, it wasn't just their systems that got hit. The attack rippled through service providers in dozens of countries, leaving thousands of small businesses locked out of their own networks. Think about that. Companies that believed their trusted vendor was too big to fail found themselves shut down in an instant. Brand recognition can trick us into lowering our guard. Hackers know this. They target popular vendors because compromising one opens the door to hundreds or thousands of downstream businesses. That blind trust becomes the backdoor attackers couldn't otherwise walk through. Research shows supply chain breaches succeed most often because businesses lean on reputation instead of verifying security. It feels safe to assume if they're trusted by the market, they must be secure. That assumption is exactly what criminals look to exploit. The payoff is clear. Reputation doesn't equal protection. Hackers weaponize that trust to spread attacks faster and wider. The longer you rely on that comfort, the easier it is for them to scale an attack without you seeing it coming. Now here's the second myth I want to cover. Compliance really equals security. You check off the compliance boxes and assume you're protected. It feels good knowing your business meets the standards regulators ask for. The problem is, hackers don't care about those standards. They don't stop to check if you passed your last audit before going after your network. Look at healthcare as an example. Hospitals and clinics spend millions every year keeping up with HIPAA. On paper, they're compliant. Yet breaches continue to hit healthcare at alarming rates, exposing patient data and forcing systems offline. Entire networks have faced ransomware while technically meeting every rule. The truth is, compliance proves you followed minimum industry guidelines, not that your systems are hardened against real-world attacks. Think of it like passing a driving test. You learned the basics, but that alone doesn't mean you're ready for everything on the road. Cyber criminals move with creativity and speed. They use tools compliance frameworks weren't designed to anticipate. Worse, even if you're compliant when a breach happens, you can still face fines and investigations after the fact. So while compliance might keep your paperwork in order, it doesn't keep an attacker out of your systems. Compliance keeps auditors happy. Security keeps hackers out. The third myth is this: my IT provider has it covered. Think your IT guy has security covered? A lot of owners do. They figure if something goes wrong, the provider will step in and fix it. But here's the catch. Most IT providers are built to solve problems after they've already happened. That's very different from stopping an attack before it spreads. Let's break it down. Traditional IT support keeps your computers running, makes sure updates are installed, and handles routine requests. What they usually don't do is constantly monitor for strange behavior or signs that a hacker slipped in through a trusted tool. That difference matters because the average breach goes unnoticed for months, long before anyone calls the help desk. By the time an IT ticket even gets opened, attackers may have copied data, installed backdoors, or moved into connected systems. Think about a compromised vendor update. The moment a trusted software patch gets poisoned, it can blast out across dozens of companies in hours. That's too fast for a break-and-fix model to contain. Your IT team may be great at resetting passwords or fixing printers, but they aren't watching your environment around the clock. Real protection requires continuous monitoring and rapid response. Businesses need security operations that actively look for signs of compromise, not just someone who steps in when things are already broken. The fourth myth says you're too small to ever target. Hackers only care about big corporations, right? That sounds reassuring, but it's one of the costliest assumptions small businesses make. The data tells a different story. Year after year, reports show a large share of cyber incidents hit small and mid-sized businesses. Many victims you never hear about are companies with fewer than 100 employees. The reason is simple. Criminals know smaller organizations rarely have the same defenses as enterprise giants. If you're working with lean budgets and a small team, you probably don't have a 24/7 security operation or advanced monitoring tools in place. That makes you a quicker and easier payday for attackers looking for the path of least resistance. Here's what most people overlook. Smaller businesses often act as stepping stones in wider supply chain attacks. You may not be sitting on billions in data, but you may be connected to a bigger client, vendor, or partner. Compromising you gives hackers a clean entry point into a much larger target. Your size doesn't protect you. It actually makes you valuable. The reality is clear. Being small doesn't make you invisible. It makes you vulnerable. Which of these myths have you personally believed? Finally, the fifth myth I hear: if something big happens, someone will tell me. If your vendor was hacked today, how long before you'd know? The honest answer? Probably not right away. In fact, the odds are you wouldn't hear anything until long after the attackers had already helped themselves to whatever they wanted. Breaches don't usually come with flashing warning signs or instant alerts. Many vendors wait weeks or even months before disclosing what happened, if they disclose it at all. During that silence, criminals can quietly move through systems, copy sensitive data, and open pathways into your business without setting off alarms. By the time an official notice is sent out, the damage is often baked in. Downstream businesses are almost always the last to know. When a supplier is compromised, your systems may already be contaminated before the public ever catches wind. Attackers count on that lag time. It gives them months to spread, escalate, and monetize stolen access while everyone else is still in the dark. Studies show the average detection delay stretches beyond 6 months. That's why waiting for an email or press release isn't enough. You cannot rely on being told about a breach. The smarter move is to act as though a compromise might already be underway. Continuous monitoring, paired with a clear incident response plan, is how businesses stay ahead in a world where delayed disclosure is the norm. Old beliefs give business owners a false sense of safety, and attackers know it. Each myth sounds reasonable, but that assumption is exactly what leaves doors wide open. When you trust reputation, compliance, or IT support without question, you're handing over an advantage before the first attack even begins. Hackers depend on businesses staying comfortable with outdated thinking. The key takeaway is that relying on old beliefs won't protect you from new threats. Don't let these myths blind you. The next video shows advanced tactics businesses are using to stay ahead.